what happens when Pluto transits into your 8th house in the sign of Aquarius? First, let's look at what the 8th house represents. It's all about your shared resources, debts, intimacy, deep psychological transformation, power dynamics, death and rebirth. It is the house where Scorpio feels the most at home, and Scorpio rules over the planet Pluto as well. So we're going to go over some of the general themes that come up with Pluto being in the 8th house. Transformation of relationships and intimacy. Pluto in the 8th house intensifies pretty much everything. It's going to make all of your connections a lot more intense, emotional, not just like on a psychological level, emotional. You may attract relationships that feel very karmic, fated, or transformative. Issues of trust, control, and vulnerability come to the forefront. If there are unresolved dynamics and intimate partnerships, this transit will compel you to address them. This period can also lead to profound sexual exploration or healing, uncovering and releasing any fears or taboos that are tied to intimacy. Because 8th house is also the house of taboo as well, forgot to mention. So, reassessment of shared resources, matters concerning joint finances, inheritances, debts, taxes may arise. Pluto might bring financial transformations such as significant inheritance, a sudden shift in financial obligations, or the necessity to restructure shared resources. Power struggles over money or resources are possible as well, urging you to develop healthier boundaries and systems of cooperation. Psychological and emotional healing. So since Pluto's known to dig deep, right? That's Scorpio, digging deep, not afraid of the void, looking under the surface. It's going to dive into, your subconscious areas and expose fears, traumas, and buried emotions. While this can be intense and kind of scary, it's also a profound opportunity for psychological healing and self-mastery. So therapy, shadow work, other methods of personal growth may feel necessary and rewarding during this transit. Exploration of mysticism and the occult. And 8th house governs all the unseen, all the mysteries, esoteric knowledge. I think I mentioned that already. But all those things, including astrology, so spiritual practices, understanding life's deeper mysteries, you could feel a sense of, like, you might feel like you have more of like a psychic ability in a way, or have an interest to explore like psychic abilities, or tapping into like your psychic abilities and all that good stuff. Death and rebirth, of course, literal or symbolic. So having Pluto in the 8th house of endings and beginnings, while it doesn't necessarily mean physical death, you could lose some people when this happens, lose some people in your life. But it often more so symbolizes the end of an old way of life versus like the literal death. It's like the end of old relationships, old self. So it's definitely a period of letting go what no longer serves you, making way for the new, more empowering experiences. Now, let's look into even more detail. So Pluto in Aquarius influence specifically. When Pluto transits the 8th house in Aquarius, the themes of the 8th house take on an Aquarian flavor. emphasizing innovation and transformation. You may experience breakthroughs that involve more futuristic ideas, transform your way you deal with things. Rebellion against control. So, since Aquarius is known to be very independent and freedom loving, you can definitely have more of a desire to challenge authority that tries to force you into anything, encouraging you to break free from oppressive, like financial systems, even since the eighth house governs like resources and debts. Also, any kind of emotional entanglements that you find yourself in, Pluto will shatter through that when it's in Aquarius. Collective involvement. So shared resources or intimate connections might expand to involve communities, groups, collective ideals. So, for example, you could work with others to create new innovative ways of handling shared wealth or mutual aid. Detachment in transformation. So, while Aquarius is emotionally detached compared to Pluto's intensity, this combination helps you to actually approach deep transformation with objectivity and intellectual insight. So, it's actually helpful because you won't get so drowned in that, intensity from Pluto. And I think that it's a saving grace for Cancer rising, especially since, you guys are very nurturing, you're kind and sometimes could be more sensitive to some of the deeper, darker things. Maybe not all, but it helps to have Aquarius there. Potential challenges. So, of course, power struggles can be a potential challenge, like with all the Pluto things. You might experience control issues in relationships or joint financial matters. Themes of manipulation, jealousy, obsession, all the things that come with Pluto. It's crucial to identify unhealthy power dynamics, address them constructively, and then confrontation with loss. This transit may bring experiences that force you to confront loss, whether literal, emotional, or material. These moments, while challenging, catalyze growth and resilience. Fear of vulnerability. Yeah, because when Pluto is there, it's so intimidating and it could feel so dark at times that it scares you away from allowing it to flow and allowing things to transform. But if you just let it flow, it's going to provoke those fears of being vulnerable, losing control. But if you just let it flow, that is what really helps you to go through the process easier, faster. It'll be a better transition, if you will, into the new you. Potential rewards. Personal empowerment. By facing and transforming your deepest fears, you emerge stronger, more resilient, and self-aware. You gain mastery over your emotions and your resources. Healing and renewal. Profound healing, whether through therapy, spiritual practice, or self-reflection, is a hallmark of this transit. It's a chance to reinvent yourself emotionally, psychologically, and even materially. Deeper connections. While this transit demands depth and honesty in relationships, it also opens the door to deeply meaningful and transformative connections. Mastery of finances. Pluto can bring opportunities to completely restructure your approach to money and shared wealth, potentially leading to greater financial power. And some tips to navigate this Pluto in the eighth house period. Embrace the change. That's the best advice that you can ever really get, is just try to embrace it. It's easier said than done. Sometimes it's like when you hear someone saying, just embrace it. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to embrace it, but it's so much easier said than actually doing it, because then that requires you to know where the key to your psyche is, because you got to open it up first and then allow it to flow. But when it's still lost, it's not so simple like that. But through the process, you will be led more down the pathway to find it eventually. Engage in therapy, counseling, or any method of self-discovery to process deep emotions or fears that arise. Build your support system, friends. Even if you have to, like, I don't know, there's a lot of activities out there. You can do volunteer work as well, which is very helpful. I actually went to one this past Tuesday, and I brought Alan with me, and we went to the Midwest Food Bank and helped out, and just things like that. It's like, if you don't have anything to do, I mean, we could always fill it up with things that help others, and then in return it also helps you as well. So it's like you're helping others and then healing yourself at the same time. Work on developing healthy boundaries, open communication in relationships, especially around shared resources or emotional intimacy. And then explore the mystical. Use this time to delve into spiritual or occult practices that resonate with you. They can offer insights and tools for transformation. And you're already doing that if you're watching this video. So in summary of it all, Pluto transiting the 8th house in Aquarius is a period of transformation in your intimacy, karmas, debts, ancestry, the psyche. It's going to feel intense, but you're going to have a lot of opportunities to really heal some stuff that has been hidden away for a long time. Anything that involves like inheritances as well. If there's any negativity like revolving around that subject, for example, if you have a family, your family is like unable to split the resources from a family inheritance, and that can cause like a rift and drama. This is going to be a good time to assess that and make amends and restructure like the whole dynamics between your family members. With Aquarius, it brings that more detached part of it, which lightens it up quite a bit, honestly. Like, having an opposing energy there helps to balance out the heaviness. So that will be very helpful for you. But yeah, that's a summary of when Pluto transits into your 8th house in the sign of Aquarius. Hope you guys liked it, and let me know how it goes. Well, you got a long time, but you can share with me your thoughts on how you feel about it so far. Peace out.